What is up, guys? PoliticsGaming here, and today we are doing a brand new episode of the United Mexican States. We are 270 days from the next presidential election, which will be taking place in July of 2030. So I am very excited to see what will be happening over the next couple of months. So we're about 2 episodes away from the presidential election. Looks like that the age of consent has been raised. And first things first, let's go ahead and just not even wait today. Let's go ahead and invest another 5 billion pesos into the agricultural sector. And that raises our deficit just a tiny bit, I think, because of the work visas that we just did with the United States. I might actually ask the United States for a little bit more money for that immigration agreement. Let's go over to diplomacy. Let's go over to actions, immigration agreement. Let's go over to the United States and immigration agreements. This is, we're gonna have to go over to immigration. That's where we're going. And let's do the United States. Let's ask for an additional 200 billion pesos for the contract. Let's go ahead and send that over. And yeah, that'll also go from 78 billion pesos to 250 billion pesos. Hopefully we will be able to get that through. And let's see what's going on with the United States in terms of immigration. And looks like the United States has actually reduced illegal immigration by a lot. So very interesting to see that. Let's go ahead and check on our own. We really need to start making focuses on trying to reduce our illegal immigration. We already have walls with the borders of Guatemala, especially Guatemala, which is mostly where everyone is coming from. And we honestly are just trying to make things a little bit better. We need to make our HDI score better. We also need to continue to focus on this. I think this is going to be a main focus of this episode in order to continuously build on the poor and insulated housing. I think once I'm able to get that down at least below 10%, I think we should be able to do a lot better. And reduced income tax, rent increases, and 12,500 pesos for every person for a low salary. So that actually reduced poverty by a lot. And we're going to continue to keep it down. Homeless people are on our way up, but we could actually build some more public housing, and that should be able to solve that problem. If not, then we can continue to invest into some more housing. I think we also could go over here and go to real estate. We could do an exoneration of the real estate investment, and this will encourage a new build construction across the housing sector. All right, and let's go over to the environment tab. And while we're trying to reduce our housing stress, essentially, let's go over to the list of prohibitions here, and we're going to make a reform. We're going to call this the Animal Rights and Welfare Act. We're going to call for the prohibition of possession of wild animals in circuses, possession of marine animals at aquariums. We're going to hold on to that. Dogfighting will be prohibited. Cockfighting will be prohibited. Bullfighting will be prohibited. Whale hunting is already banned. Let's go ahead and also ban testing of cosmetics on animals and raising animals for fur. Let's go ahead and prohibit that too. So then we're only allowing the possession of marine animals at aquariums, the ritual slaughtering for religious purposes, chicken slaughtering, and battery farming. So let's go ahead and create the reform. And then we will see that it has a 84% chance of passing. And then we're going to do some more money for wildlife protection. We're going to go ahead and fully fund that, actually. 12 billion pesos will be devoted to this. And regulation on hunting. And let's do hunting as a subject of heated struggle between hunter and defenders of animals. In this context, several purposes for hunting must be distinguished. Subsistence hunting to feed populations. This is becoming extremely rare in this day and age. Commercial hunting, which exploits animals for food, health, and or decoration, which is shark fins, pangolin scales, elephant tusks, etc. hunting for sport or leisure, which is lion hunting or fox hunting, for example, selective and regulatory hunting to protect cultures, for example, which is wolves or bears near pastures, the re-legalization of elephant hunting in Botswana in light of the growing development of the elephant population, or to defend certain threatened species from other invasive species. But certain defenders of animals express their doubts as to the effectiveness of these benefits. The level of regulation depends on the list of hunted species, the species protected, and hunting seasons. So we could have balanced, restricted, prohibited, or liberal. So I believe we're going to keep it where it is right now, and then animal welfare. Recognition of animal sentience is a fundamental advance in human-animal rights, where they are no longer considered as commodities, but as living beings. These recognition opens the way to a large amount of legislation against the mistreatment and suffering of animals. So, no regulation opens the way to a large amount of legislation. So I believe that might be prohibition or a regulation on animal or a list of prohibitions. So I guess if there's no regulation, then I think that disappears. But let's go ahead and see what our animal rights rating goes to after the passage of this law. Other things that we're going to focus on will be, we're going to start purchasing some more military equipment. So we really need to start building up our stash of missiles and high velocity missiles. Maybe we could start to develop the process of that. I think we could go for another 800 tanks for rank 3. Maybe a few hundred more missile launchers, and definitely some more anti-missile launchers. Rank 3 cannons, we could buy some more. Helicopters, I think we could be good. Maybe another 200 would work for us. Drones, we need to start increasing our stash. Suicide drones, I want to go for at least a couple thousand. Fighter planes, we could definitely go for about 200 or 300. And then build up our navy as well. So you will see a little bit of a time skip, but I'm going to go ahead and start purchasing some of this, and then I'll have the numbers afterward at the end of this segment. All right, and we are back. We have all the technology required for launch the mission. All of our teams are now busy planning the launch phase. I'll keep you informed. Oleta Rosales, or the Rosales Space Telescope, we are prepared for liftoff. That basically means that we discovered all of the technology that is available for that space mission. That does mean that our space program is on its way to becoming a fully modern, independent space program. So right now we have space probe construction that needs to be filled for the space probe landing, the Luna 1 and Luna 2. And so let's go over here, space probe construction. And good. So honestly, I'm very happy to see that the Mexican space program is on its way to becoming more than just a meme. I mean, you would think about it, and we have the Viaje Caliente, we have the Venus mission that will be going over there with the ESA, with the support of the ESA. We will have the Vida Europa, which will possibly discover life on the icy moon of Jupiter, and maybe we can also send another one out. I am very interested in sending a probe to Uranus, and I will not say it in the funny way. I mean, that's kind of tempting, even though I'm a content creator, but I'm very much an avid advocate for space exploration. So let's go ahead and do a space probe of landing, and actually we're going to go ahead and hold off on that for the next episode. Contract accepted, so all of our military buildup will be underway, and we did build a little bit, so we have things like this. We bought some missiles from the United States. Let's go over to Army. Let's show the numbers right here. So we didn't buy any tanks yet, but we do have 200 rank 4 launchers. That's going to make us about 600 launchers that we will have for missiles. And we did buy a good amount of missiles, so we have about another 600 on the way. And then we ordered 220 rank 4 anti-missile batteries, and then we have 200 rank 4 cannons on the way. And then helicopters, we didn't order any. We did not order any drones for right now. However, we did order another additional 1,500 suicide drones from the black market. We have 100 rank 3 fighters that are on the way, and they will be ready by 2031. And let's go over here. We did not buy any ships as of yet. However, I am considering building my own domestic aircraft carrier. So let's go ahead and could we purchase one from the United States? Would the United States be up for that? Let's go ahead and consider our options. And 249 billion over the next 5 years, and or actually just automatically. And let's go ahead and look over here. Jalisco, Puerto Vallarta. Let's go ahead and just try to purchase one from the United States. I don't think the United States has ever sold an aircraft carrier to another country. I wonder how that would have to turn out, but very interesting. I like US technology. 249, wow. 500 billion in interest over the next 5 years or 3 years. Let's go ahead and refuse that. We will go ahead and try to focus on our own industry for aircraft carriers and internet improvements, regime change, Montenegro. We have a epidemic of cholera in Guatemala. So let's go ahead and do 2.5 billion pesos over to Guatemala and try to see what's going on, try to help them out. Internet improvements, let's go over to the media and let's see what my internet speed is now. 105 megabytes per second. 100% of the population uses the internet. Newspapers are actually on their way up. Usually I see them on their way down. Televisions per inhabitant is actually on its way up a little bit, but it's actually down from the beginning of the game. So good. Just making sure that the internet development is still underway. And prototype for space habitation module, meaning that we can build our own space station. Maybe we can do like the third world or like the global south space station. I wonder what that would be called. Should I build a space station, or should I actually like head a moon base and invite people like Brazil, South Africa, India, even Australia, kind of like have like a third type of space station, not headed by the United States, not headed by the Chinese, but rather it is just independent from any global superpower. So with the closer relations that we're trying to build with the Caribbean, we're going to go over to look at Cuba, and we have Cuba right here, 2.87% growth, 1.7 trillion peso GDP. We go over and look, their deficit is 32%. That is insane to look at. They are unable to even afford the most basic necessities. Let's go ahead and invite the president of Cuba over for a meeting this weekend, and we will go ahead and start a trade agreement, and as well we will try to build relations with the country, and we are going to go ahead and hand them an additional aid package. We already increased their aid over to 25 billion pesos. Let's go ahead and double that to 50 billion pesos. That is 0.12% of our GDP. We'll go ahead and confirm that over, and then we will look. Our deficit doesn't really go up that much, but that will very much help out our economic relations with the failing country. So we need to go ahead over and look, what does that do? An immediate effect is that it reduced it by nearly 0.25%. They have to change the course absolutely right now. We will try to help them out by importing some products from Cuba, and that will give them maybe a little bit of an edge and growth rate. Even if we don't necessarily need the product, we will go ahead and do it just so we can help them out. All right, and so we did pass that that animal welfare bill earlier, and that increased our score to an A. We were at a D at the beginning of the game. We also need to go over here. Let's go over to reforestation, and we're going to continue to try to reduce the effects of reforestation or deforestation. So it looks like that area deforested is 46,000 in hectares. So we are down from 68,000, but I do want to continue to try to fight that in the future. Let's go ahead and also increase funding to anti-pollution measures and taxes, dismantlement. Let's do an additional 2. Now we need to focus all of our energy right now on let's go over to housing, and let's go over here and continue to try to build against the poorly insulated and unsafe housing. We really need to do that a lot by the end of our term. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask this one last time, because in the next year, in the next like 2 episodes, we will have the presidential election come up. Do you guys want to see me continue this series past the election, or do you guys want to see a new series? The series is going on for nearly 30 episodes, and I feel like that we've done a lot. There is still a lot of work to be done in order to further develop Mexico, but at the same time, do you guys want to see a brand new series? So the next series will be Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a Middle Eastern country, the king of oil, and we have a lot of development in trying to diversify their economy, and maybe even trying to get a better understanding of their immigration situation. That will be a very interesting episode or series, and it will be the very first Middle Eastern country I've played as since I played as Iran back in, I believe, the 2017-2018 edition. So that will be really interesting, and also we could build up our military forces, try to counteract Iran's influence, and basically act like try to subvert Iran and try to maybe even enact a regime change at some point. Whether a military conflict will proceed in that series could be seen, but I know that Iran and Saudi Arabia usually do kind of go to war, so we could build up a lot of military forces in order to prepare for such conflict as Saudi Arabia. But do you guys want to see Saudi Arabia, or do you guys want to see me continue as Mexico for at least another term, which would be 6 years? Let me know down in the comments down below. So let's go ahead and go over to police, and crime rates seem to be going up. Let's employ another 500,000 manpower for the police forces. We are actually kind of stuck right now at 2.1 million. Are we kind of like no, it's just kind of gradually going up, but it kind of seems like it's flatlining a little bit. Let's go ahead and increase this to 3 million, and let's go ahead and send that over. Public safety, highway patrol, let's go ahead and fully fund that. It's actually like partially funded. Cybersecurity task force, security and exchange commission, drug task force. Let's go ahead and do a little bit there. Internal affairs is actually completely funded. Vice squad, let's go ahead and increase funding there. Political police, let's go ahead and defund that entirely. And let's go ahead and confirm that down, and that should be good. And unfavorable regime change in Malawi. And let's see what the protests here are about. Looks like it is against the increase in funding to the security forces. And what is that? Is that? I hate how it does that. Little bit of a bug, but it already went away. Let's go ahead and go. Industrial espionage in progress. I really hope I don't discover a nuclear bomb, because I don't want a nuclear weapons program in Mexico. Usually whenever you discover that, it's either like a tank or it's a nuclear bomb. It's kind of like random depending on what you do, basically. Police legislation. Prostitution is legal and regulated. Self-driving vehicles. Could we do the testing of these kind of vehicles in for ourselves? Research. Let's go over here. Let's go over to aeronautic. There is industry. Where is self-driving vehicles? These are around here somewhere. I know that. self-driving. Let's go over to energy and environment. I think it's down here. It is not. Let's go up. Human and social sciences. Here it is. So this is AI driving and software that allows a vehicle to travel autonomously and safely without human drivers. Real-time analysis of various information streams and sensors, cameras, lidars, GPS maps to avoid accidents, all while obeying traffic laws. So we could do that. What is matter sciences? What else do we need to discover? Still a lot going on in terms of research. We haven't researched everything, but still bionics is prepared to be researched. ICT, bionics, we're actually getting up there with all the civilian research. We're doing it all like by 2030. So military, still have a lot of military research to go through here. 2040 and 2044 for the military research. Good. At least there's a little bit of realism there. High velocity missiles will be discovered in 2030 to 2031. Could we do a missile silo? What if I wanted to do that? Army construction missile silo rank 1. We could do like 1 missile silo, and we could do it in Yucatan Peninsula. Could Mexico get away with building such a project? I don't know. Because it's a missile silo. Obviously, we don't have the ability to develop a nuclear weapons program. I think we actually do. Well, actually, we don't. So we have the ability to make a nuclear weapons program. We do not have the ability to make a nuclear weapons program, but Army, sign an agreement, national service. I don't really have the willpower to do it. I don't really want to make Mexico a nuclear state. The only thing that I really would do is buy nuclear submarines, mainly because they're more efficient and they have missiles on board that I can use against targets and kind of be like in and out, doesn't have to really matter. What I'm also trying to do right now is we're still attempting to build a military base on Haiti, and we did take out a terrorist group earlier in the episode. I did skip over that part, but let's go over here and continue to build. So really trying to focus on poorly insulated housing this episode. We do have the Cayu Summit.
1 week.
We have the Puebla Music Festival. If that does not go well for the 3rd year in a row, I will go ahead and cancel it. Let's go ahead and do this. 0.19 is our interest rate, or proposed interest rate. Hopefully that the Cayu does accept that as our interest rate. 0.17, we still are kind of getting it up, but I really want to get it up to at least 1 to 2%. If we're not able to do that, I really am disappointed. I really wish that I did a monthly summit every couple of months, or every month, instead of the quarterly summit. It does make sense for a quarterly summit if you are a country that does have a stable economy, such as a Western nation. If you are a very unstable growth economy, like a rising power like Mexico or Brazil, do it every month, because that will screw you in terms of trying to get what you need passed. And we're going to go ahead and go forward. We have gone past Cayu, and let's go ahead and try to sabotage a Turkish oil well. Supervision, face-to-face, in trouble. I thought I have a freedom of the media in Mexico. Legislation, freedom of information, freedom of expression. So we will go ahead and do freedom of expression in the next episode. So we'll go ahead and get that done. And let's see what the Puebla Music Festival has in store for us, whether that was a failure. If it is a failure, we'll go ahead and cancel the festival for future years, because we are spending over $100 million in government subsidies for that festival. I think it's actually 200 or 300 now. So let's go to a couple of things before we go. Let's do media, construction, and let's do 5G. and we're gonna do, we're actually gonna pay off some of our debt here. Let's go over to debt, and so our debt continues to go down. We are kind of like spending a lot and borrowing a lot, so it kind of starts to equal out a little bit. Do we want to focus? Yeah, let's focus on ourselves, and that will do, it's going to be 99 in interest. That goes down to 71. So 99 to 71, that reduces our debt obligations just a tiny bit, and it really helps us out. All right, and we have our report on the Pueblo World Music Festival: avant-gardism and obstructionism. Disappointed, both audience and journalists strongly criticize the artistic orientations of the shows. So a very big disappointment. Let's go over to culture. We will go over to events, and we will do this. We are spending 3.5 billion pesos on this festival. Let's go ahead and just get rid of the festival. So we're going to go ahead and delete the festival, and that will no longer be something that we have to pay for. That does save us 3.5 billion pesos, but that is unfortunate that the Pueblo Music Festival was unable to gain traction over the course of the years that it was active. I believe that was the 3rd year that it was active, and unfortunately that will be the last year for the Pueblo Music Festival. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it on the channel. And if you guys want to see more Mexico, go ahead and comment down below what you guys' thoughts are. These might be the last couple of episodes. Again, tell me down below whether you guys want to see the Saudi Arabia series, or if I should continue the Mexico series for another term. I will also hold a poll for this on my community tab as soon as this episode goes live, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I also will have a political process episode coming out very soon, so look forward to that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.